I'm watching Toski play Caitlyn, and the matchup is going to be EUW Caitlyn versus Ezreal Zara. This is on EU West around 1350 Elo, and the questions that were asked are whether playing laning passively was correct, and letting lane be pushed to turret, whether that was correct or they should have been more aggressive, and how late game teamfighting worked. For runes and masteries, it looks like you have pretty good tanky stats. You want to be taking armor yellows and MR blues, and then AD reds and quints is a pretty standard page on an AD carry, and you can vary that if you have a reason that you want to vary that. But just as a default setup, that's fine, and that seems like what you're doing, so that's good. So the way that this lane is going to work is that both of you have 0 sustain, so any damage that sticks after trading is going to, or any damage that you take during trading is going to stick. If Zara manages to land a snare on you and get some plants under you, with the plants actually auto-attacking you, you're probably going to be forced out of lane or die. If she doesn't do that, you're probably going to be able to poke from range with just your auto-attacks using the new Blood Boil to get good auto-attacks in on Ezreal in between taking CS. For starting items, that's fine. You can do that or Boots 3, but with the new Blood Boil you don't really need Boots 3, so Longsword 2 is fine. And your new has a pink ward, which is going to be able to help against Zara to stop her from pinking a bush and then just sitting in it. So yeah, coming to lane with a headshot is good. Try to get that first headshot off against Ezreal. You know that they didn't take double golems, so if you keep the lane pushed evenly with them, then you're going to hit 2 at the same time, and so you won't be at risk of them all-inning on you when they're 2 and you're still both 1. So here you should be counter-pushing lane because you really don't want them to be allowed to hit 2 significantly before you. And every time you're not hitting a creep, you should be trying to hit Ezreal. You're in Ezreal, or Ezreal's within your auto attack range multiple times over there, and you didn't get a single auto attack off on him. And now they're 2, and you guys are both 1. So at this point, you have no choice but to be zoned a little bit. But that happened because you allowed yourself to be pushed on way too hard. And so, if Ezreal's pushing the lane out, just counter push the lane. If you're worried about a jungler gank, ask your support to ward, but Kha'Zix is probably not going to be starting red, so it's unlikely that he's going to be level 2 ganking. So keeping the lane in the middle of it is pretty safe, and it's definitely dangerous to have the lane pushed to you too hard. Right now, you can be sort of preparing the creeps that the tower is about to target for last hitting. Like the first one that died, the one that was right here, you could have hit it twice while you were just pacing back and forth doing nothing, and then you would have been able to get that CS. So just work on last hitting under tower, and you can just go into a custom, push lane really hard to their tower, like with no opponent, just push lane really hard to an enemy turret, and then have it push back on you. You really shouldn't have taken all of that damage from plants. You're just standing there. It seemed like you were typing or something, but just if the plants are attacking you and you can't de-aggro them, then just kill the plants. They give you 5 gold each, and they'll die much faster if you attack them than if you let them just time out. There's more auto attacks that you could have gotten against Ezreal there. I'm gonna put this to manual camera. There's just a lot of auto attacks that you could be getting that you're choosing not to, and if you don't need to take a last hit, you should be trying to get an auto attack off. You don't have this bush warded right now, and that's actually pretty bad. You should definitely ask Nunu to ward the bush, because you really don't want Zyra to be able to just blindly make plants and blindly throw snares at you, so that you don't have time to react to it. And again, you're losing CS to tower that you don't need to lose to tower. It's harder when you have a melee support who can't help you prepare for them, but you don't need to be missing every single one of them. And at this point you might want to be asking your jungler to come down, since they are pushed very far to tower. Like, he can come down past Raze and through try and gank. You're not losing horribly, but if Zyra lands a good snare on you, they definitely do have kill potential against you if Nunu doesn't have his consume up for the plants. So that was a pretty good response by you to Nunu being pretty out of position, and it was good that you got the kill. You should be pushing Zyra out of lane. You can queue the creeps so that there aren't so many creeps here, and here you could actually probably kill her. Try to lead with your Q. If you see her walking that way, try to lead with it. And if you get this headshot off on her, if you'd gotten that headshot off on her, you could have flashed after her and killed her. And you have barrier. So you have barrier and you have Eve, so you're not too worried about dying to her passive, and you actually could have killed her right there, even though you don't have ignite, just by getting that headshot off on her, and then a couple more auto attacks. Again, you could probably kill her now. Okay, so Cart Thistle will get it. That flash was completely unnecessary. Alright, so I'm gonna speed up the recording while you buy and come back to base. Berserker Gaze are okay. Generally you don't want to do Berserker Gaze on an AD carry as your first item. You want to go Dorans, but in particular on Caitlyn against Ezreal, because you outrange him so much. The extra attack speed will help you get a lot of extra poke on him between CS. However, you're not playing towards that build. What I mean is that if you're actually getting a lot of poke auto attacks off on him in between taking last hits, then getting a lot of attack speed is very good. But you're not doing that, and since you're not playing that way, you're going to want to go something that helps you survive better and trade better when there are sort of all-in trades, because those are really the only times that you're actually exchanging with him. And again, channeling your ult there, like, channeling your ult is less DPS than actually auto-attacking, and Ezreal is clearly going to block it, so there is pretty much no reason for you to ult there. It's a lot of mana, and you did it at a time when you could be taking damage in return. It's one thing to ult from very far away for free harass damage onto them, like, that mana cost can actually be worth it, given that they have absolutely no sustain in their lane. However, because you did it when you were in auto attack range of Ezreal, he was able to get damage off on you while you were channeling your ult. So that was just not the best idea to channel your ult right then. And just try to clear this ward from range if you can, because Nunu can't do that for you. Is there good auto attacks on Zyra? Try to not be knocked up by the Zyra ult. You can E off of it, or there you actually had time to just walk off of it, and then you could have continued attacking Ezreal after the knock-up happened, instead of having to back off because you were stunned for that extra amount of time. Yeah, that's the sort of auto-attacking that you should have been trying to do this entire game. When you have a Nunu with Blood Boil, it's even easier to get that off because you're moving so much faster than him, and so you just auto-attack him when he has to turn around and walk forward in order to get into your auto-attack, or to get you into his auto-attack range, even though he's already in your auto-attack range. And then you can just get a lot of free damage, and if Nunu Ice Blasts, then that's going to keep Ezreal there even more. Just as a general rule of thumb, have your support face check this bush. If your support's refusing to do it, then you can do it yourself. I wouldn't have actually led with your ult there. Like she's really soft right now. She has no magic resist for Karthus ult. She has a lot of armor, but no magic resist for Karthus ult, and very little health. So if you had just auto attacked her a couple times instead of ulting, then it's possible you would have been able to get enough damage off for the Karthus ult to happen. And then you were just really low, so pushing the tower and then going back to buy. I guess you want to wait for your BF sword, probably. So if you're just waiting for your BF sword, that's probably fine to stay. But I think you have it now, so you have it now. So you should just ask your jungler to come bot, so you can go back. But if you go back without your jungler coming bot, then you're gonna lose your tower, which isn't the worst thing ever. But you should. It's a good idea to try to avoid losing tower, because your support isn't going to be able to do anything about this unless he ults the wave. He could ult the wave actually, and then he'd be able to save the tower. But I don't know actually if he could survive the Zyral knock up. So it is probably right for him to back off there and let the tower fall. So if you felt safe there, like if you could have warded this bush so that you know that Kha'Zix can't dive you, then you probably should have tried to stay, just to not let your tower fall. And what you do is you just ask your mid lane to come down, ask your jungler to come down, and they can gank even if they don't get a kill, even if it's warded, they don't get a kill, they just push them out of lane. That stops them from taking the tower while you're going back, which is ideal because you'd like to not lose a turret as early as 12 minutes in. That's pretty dangerously far forward to be. You should be dead here. Like, they back off, but Zyra had her ult up. So Zyra could have put her ult down. You could have flashed out of it, but that should have been more than just the one summoner build. Burned, sorry. Okay, yeah, that was a good use of your ult. And now that you've killed their support, you should try to push tower pretty quick. You don't see Kha'Zix. If New puts a ward into Tribush, you should be pretty safe. But if you have no idea where Kha'Zix is, then it's not actually safe for you to be here at that much HP. But if you know that Kha'Zix is not around, then it's fine for you to be there. Use your E to dodge Ezreal if you have the mana to do it. Don't use your flash if you're not going to die, but do use your E to dodge Ezreal. There's just a lot of damage that you would rather not take if possible. Okay, so right now, you're behind Ezreal in gold. He has more farm than you, and he has more kills than you. So, ideally, you'd like to freeze lane for a little bit and just sort of try to catch up to him. Get your VT all the way farmed, like get it all the way to 30 stacks, and then at that point, you would like to start fighting. You do have the advantage in DPS over him because you have a new support, so you have that extra blood boil attack speed, which is a lot, and it's very significant. But also, Ezreal has better damage skills than you do during mid game, pretty much. So you're probably slightly behind him right now in terms of just team fighting ability. So you would like to farm a little more. It's not so important that you get this tower down, and like. Even after laning is over, you have to be sure to actually get CS. Don't just auto attack.